Europeans have always been the worst colonizers. Let's make one thing clear. Not all empires were the same. Yes, conquest existed before Europe, but what Europe brought was a systematized apocalypse, a global, mechanized, extractive, and delusional machine built to erase, enslave, and rename the entire planet in its image. The Umayyads, the Abbasids, and the Ottomans colonized, but they didn't burn libraries to build stock exchanges. Baghdad's Beit al-Hikmah, or House of Wisdom, preserved Greek, Persian, Indian, and Chinese texts. Islamic expansion introduced algebra, hospitals, and multilingual court systems, not forced conversions by musket. Arabic became a lingua franca across empires, not by mandate, but by scholarship, commerce, and adaptation. Compare that to the Spanish, who reduced Mexican codices to ashes in Tenochtitlan, declared Nahuatl satanic, and forced Catholic confessions under torture. The Mongols built the longest contiguous empire in history. Yes, they killed, but they didn't erase. Genghis Khan's court had Chinese, Persian, and Muslim scholars side by side. They taxed knowledge instead of obliterating it. If you were a doctor, teacher, or artisan, you were protected. They built relay stations and free travel passes for scholars, not railroads to plantations. Contrast that with the Belgians in Congo, who cut off children's hands for not bleeding enough rubber out of trees, and never built a single university. The Ming dynasty's reach across Asia and Africa via Zheng He's treasure fleets brought porcelain, books, and medicine, not settler colonies. Chinese colonization in places like Vietnam did exist, but it included civil service exams, Confucian schooling, and a food exchange, not sugar plantations and forced sterilization. Now compare that to the British, who called India their jewel, while creating over 30 million famine deaths through forced cash cropping and grain export during droughts. Yes, the Inca, Aztec, and Maya had conquest, but it was regional, symbolic, and seasonal. Tribute came in textiles, maize, and cacao, not slavery and amputated limbs. Sacred war, like Sochi Yaoyotl, was regulated by religious calendars and often ended in ritual rather than extermination. The Spanish responded by melting golden temples into bars, genociding 90% of indigenous populations, and naming towns after saints who never stepped foot on the continent. Europe didn't just conquer land, it conquered meaning, redrew maps, renamed rivers, invented race, mass-manufactured lies like terra nullius, turned people into property, culture into commodity, nature into capital.